What's up? How y'all doing? We are back. We got on earlier today to do a charting session around 8 o'clock Sunday. Now it is 3:30 during the London session. And right now the first thing we want to do is take a look at the trades that we analyzed during that live charting session to see how they are looking. And from there, we'll monitor to see if we need to hold any of these positions, move stop losses, or how do we need to respond to what's going on based off of what we saw earlier. Also, we have Euro news coming out in 26 minutes. And we took a Euro USD sale, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how that's looking, and we'll see if there will be any effect on price after the news drops in 26 minutes. So let's go ahead and start. Get in. Okay, so we will start with Euro JPY. This is one of the trades that we looked at earlier. We entered in the sale. As of right now, price pulled back to retest the 20-day EMA. So let's see how price responds here, and if it will stay below the structural level here. If not, if price breaks above and starts to breaks above and gives us a close above this structural level, it's a chance we could retest the highs, or at least 50% of this move here. So what we will do is just place an alert above structure right here. Just to see. Okay, so far we entered Euro JPY here. Prices pulled back a little bit, so we're in the negative a little bit here. Another setup we looked at was AUD USD. I said that it was a chance that AUD USD could continue bullish momentum from here, this area, and pull back to either this area or to retest the highs here. And that bias was based off of, give me 1 second. Let me go to the daily chart. That bias was based off of price retesting the lows in this area. Since we have multiple rejections here in the past at this area, I looked at it as a potential strong support level. And as you can see, after the daily close on AUD USD, we have a pullback. So right now we're trying to measure how far this pullback would be. And at this point, we're looking at either the 50% of this move or the 2.36 of our fib from the macro swing high to swing low as a potential pullback area before continuing to move to the downside if that happens. Because overall, AUD USD still looks pretty bearish. Yeah, so it looks like we're still pretty bearish on this pair. Next one we looked at was USD CAD. We entered in the sale last week. I'm sorry, we entered in a buy last week after this support level here was retested. Initially, I wanted to take a buy from here, but I saw on the 4-hour chart we had bearish divergence, which is pretty much the RSI going down while price is moving up. After noticing that bearish divergence, I decided to wait until price retested support in this area here. After that, we entered in the buy for USD CAD. Now at this point, on the 4-hour, price is giving us a double top. Okay. But in order for it to be confirmed, we would need a close below, one second. We would need a close below this area. And we have an hour and 21 minutes before that happens. Now this is the 4-hour chart, so keep in mind the possibility of this thing doing this and closing back above this level is high. It's a big chance that that can happen. It's the 4-hour chart. So what we'll see, what we'll do is just wait for the close. So we'll come back and check on this after that hour and 30 minutes is up. Alright, now that level just so happens to fall right above, well, right on the 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart. And let's say, just in case price breaks structure here on a lower time frame, if we got to pull back to that area, this falls right in between the 50 fib and the 618. So this is potentially a nice rejection area if price breaks here. There is a chance that we could even see 786, but if we see 786, we could continue to move down. So let's just monitor to see what happens with the USD CAD. We also entered a Euro USD sale. See, we just got a pullback after price closed down here. Went into profit 20 pips and it pulled back 15. So let's see what reaction we get in price when the news drops. We have 18 minutes for the news to drop. So far, price is trading underneath the EMAs on every time frame. So let's just see what happens. Right now in the 5-minute, we are underneath the 200 EMA. So what we'll do is Wait for the close of this 30-minute candle. Pound is pulling back. Everything is pulling back so far. Looking at this area right underneath the 200 EMA. It's right underneath the 786. Let's see how many pips that is away from the 618. Only 6 pips. So as of right now, looks like everything rejected at the previous lows. So we'll wait and see what the news does. 15 more minutes for Euro news. We also entered a gold sale. Right now, this gold sale is in profit. So right now, we still got gold and Euro USD in profit from our aggressive entries from earlier today. Now, we need to wait and see if the lows are broken here, and there's a good chance that we can retest. Well, if not break and retest these lows, we'll get we'll get a test of these lows. So let's see how this plays out for us. If the lows are broken here and we get a retest here, our TP1 is in this area. We also looked at the indices. Yep. And we talked about a potential pullback to this area. So far, it looks like everything we saw earlier today was spot on. So if we see a break in this level, there's a chance we could break this high to retest the previous highs. Now, prices underneath where we just broke above the 20-day EMA, but respected the 50-day EMA as resistance. There is a chance you could get a sharp move, maybe to retest the right shoulder of this double bottom before giving you that move to the upside that you were looking for, before breaking the lows. So those are just different possibilities. We could also reject here and continue to move to the upside. So we're just watching to see how it plays out, but as of right now, looks like those are the different possibilities with the movement in NASDAQ 100. So what we will do, Set an alert. Cool. US 30. Even though we broke above the 200 EMA, price started making lower highs and lower lows. Here, we got lower highs, lower lows, and now we have, price after price broke this micro structure here. Price came back to retest it after the drop. So you get the breaking structure, and this is the retest of structure, and a fail. Well, with this wick, it looks like it's failing. So there's a chance you can see a deeper US 30 pullback. Depending on the close of this candle, we have 11 more minutes. 11 more minutes. Okay. S&P. S&P, we were looking for S&P to pull back to test this area. Okay. Let's see how this plays out. Set an alert, hitting to retest the highs. Okay. We also looked at Bitcoin. I sent out a Bitcoin sale in our Discord group. Still looks bearish. So I sent out a Bitcoin sale in our Discord group when I saw this macro structural level on Bitcoin was broken. After that structural level was broken, we have a sharp move down, then a pullback. On that area, after it broke, this would be considered a break and retest strategy. We entered in the sale after the retest, and price continued to move to the downside to hit all of our TPs. Very nice setup. We came up on 16,000 pips with this sale. So that's a pretty nice move. We also got the NASDAQ sell from the highs, and all of our TPs were hit here. So last week, well, this last week and a half, and that's 8,000 pips. This last week and a half, we were able to take advantage of nice setups off of simple trading strategies. Just waiting for a structure to be compromised, retested, and then we react. Then we execute. So let's see what oil is doing. Okay, on the 4 hour on the oil, if we get a close above this area, that would be an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But we'll wait on confirmation. So from here, let's just set an alert. Matter of fact, let's respect the wicks. A lot of people don't respect the wicks, but let's respect the wicks. And we're gonna add an alert to this trend line. Okay, 5 more minutes. Let's see what else we can see. Let's look at pound JPY. Oh, okay. So, pound JPY just broke a structural level. Let's go out to a higher time frame to see what happened. Okay, so pound JPY is retesting this strong support level down here. Now, as you can see, we have multiple rejections down here in this area. So this is a strong area. But if price fails to break above this area here and close, then we could see a nice fall in pound JPY. We will see a retest of structural lows underneath this area. So what we will do, let's see what happens in this structural level here. And let's find a possible target area. So we'll look at potential target areas if pound JPY continues to go on the sale, and we'll also look at potential target areas if JPY breaks above this zone to create a higher high and pull back. So we'll see trade ideas or trade setups for both sides. For the first TP, we'll look at the lows in this area. It'll be TP1 for our TP2. Take a look at the lows here. And this will be our TP3. If we get the rejection that we're looking for. If not, if price broke this trend line and is only coming back to retest the break of that trend line, then we could be looking at this as a potential setup. But we'll have to wait to see what price confirms, because we could get this move. If we get a candlestick confirmation showing more bullish momentum after we get a close above and a retest, we should be taking this to break the highs. Why? Because in an uptrend, price is making higher highs and higher lows. So price came up to create a higher high, came down to retest the lows, 100% retracement without breaking the lows, then we should be trading for the highs to be broken. Yep, so what we'll do is, let's see. We'll pay attention to this area. We got a lot of rejections right here at this area. So it's either gonna hold up as valid support or it'll be broken. Because normally when you see highs like this, most traders take their stop losses and they place them above the highs like this. And what happens in most cases is price will pull back above, break the highs to retest the previous highs above, and sometimes it'll continue to move to the downside after something like that. But oftentimes, if the move is valid, you'll just get a retest of that structural level and then a continuation. So we just have to wait and see. Okay, Euro news just dropped, and the numbers are better than expected. So let's see how that's affecting Euro. Okay, we got an alert. Got a couple alerts. Alright. So price did exactly what I thought. Gave us this pullback on AUD USD. We should have took a buy from there. Yeah, we should have took that buy. Let's pull back to retest structure. Let's see what happens. We also got an alert on. Okay. Cool. So right now it looks like pretty much everything is pulling back to retest the highs before determining the next move. We're trading up into a lot of resistance. We got this structural level here. We have the 200-day EMA moving downward, also acting as resistance. So let's see how it affects price once we reach those areas. Okay, so far today we don't have any more news until late night around the Aussie session. So if we break the lows on our Euro trade, there's a chance that we could just get a nice continuation to one of our TPs. So let's see. Gold. Okay, gold is still moving. So here we have head and shoulders pattern on gold, right in our sell zone. So if we get a close beneath this level, which is our neckline, there's a chance you can see a pullback to retest the neckline, then a move further to the downside. But those are possibilities based off of repeatable patterns that we use, and the head and shoulders is one of those patterns. So what I'll do is I'll just identify this neckline here. We'll set an alert there to see if price can stay below it and continue to move to the downside, or we'll see if price will break above it, break above that 200-day EMA, and start to give you a reversing trend. Come on, fat fingers. Okay, so from here, we just let the work come to us. We've done our job with the analysis. Let's just see how everything turns out. So we got a retest of the 50 EMA. "23 more minutes and we are done for the night." So far, just a quick recap. We looked at AUD USD. We entered a sale last week. That sale hit our target area. We took profit. After taking profit, we get a pullback. From here, we are waiting to see how far this pullback will be. At this point, if we looked at the micro fib, we're at the 50. But if we take this structural level here, oh Lord. Stop playing with my emotions. My magnet too long. Yeah, so if we look at this one, we hit the 50. If we take a look at it from these highs, we hit the 236. You could get a continuation and for price to trade above to maybe come and retest this structural level. But again, I said we'll see what happens and how price responds, because we have other levels on the fib that price could react to push this to the downside. So let's see. Right now it looks like price is rejecting, but we have 49 minutes left, so we'll see. We will see. Got a bullish engulfing, but it ran right into resistance. So we'll see how this plays out. If we get a close below the lows here, we'll move our trade to break even. And if we break the lows here, we may see TP1 hit today. Pound just retested the 50. Let's see if she'll pull up to retest the 618. And if by chance this sale is still valid, that could be a nice entry. Stop loss above the 786. trading down to TP3. Oh. Just got an alert on gold. So that's a crazy risk reward setup if it plays out that way. Okay, so on the smaller time frame, price just came back and retested our neckline. Let's see if resistance is strong enough to keep price below. Then if so, you get an exact play out of what I just described, which is a reversal pattern printed, such as this head and shoulders pattern, a break beneath the neckline, a retest of the neckline before proceeding to the downside to create lower lows. So let's see how everything plays out. Well, I guess that's the beauty of being live. You can't fake live analysis, live time execution and response time to the market. And the biggest thing that you should take away from any of my videos is patience. Yes, you can get paid from every movement, but that doesn't mean you need to be in every trade you think is a winner. Go for the ones that are closer to support levels or right at the top of a resistance level, because what that does is it gives you better entries, and most likely you won't get stopped out by wicks trying to enter in on continuation patterns. And also, you can really just trade stress free. So, for instance, if we were able to take advantage of the buy down here after seeing this inverse head and shoulders printed, boom, boom. So after noticing that inverse head and shoulders, if we were able to take advantage of that on the smaller time frame after the neckline was closed above, you have an entry all the way down by support. The stop loss could have been underneath the right shoulder of this inverse head and shoulders, and as you can see, you're already in profit. Even if price only retests this level here, right below the 200 EMA, that's still a crazy risk reward setup. what I teach all the students is only take a trade if it is 1 to 3 or better. 1 to 3. Now, with all our trades, we use a percentage-based risk. So we either use 3%, 6%, or 9%. And when if you switch percentages, only do it after 10 or 20 trades. Because if you take 10 trades using 1 to 3 as your risk-reward ratio, and you win 3 out of those 10 trades, you can still end up with a winning trading percentage of like 12% for the month. So that's the beauty of using a consistent percentage-based risk-reward approach with trading. Because as long as you use technical analysis and you are strict with your rules and you remain disciplined, at the very least, let's just say you're at your worst this week or this month, you should be able to do at least 30 or 40%. If you manage to do closer to 50% or anything above, that's amazing. But at the very least, with that 3%, you'll end the month with a 12% gain off of only winning 30% of your trades, which is beautiful. So just keep that in mind and try your best to stay true to your trading plan. It's not always about technical analysis. It's not always about the news. It's about your ability to give yourself a set of rules and be disciplined enough to follow them. Okay. 10 more minutes and we are done, and we will be back during the New York session to monitor the positions we have open at the moment. Oh, we also looked at Euro Pound. Okay, so we were looking for this area to be retested on Euro Pound. So just from a quick look, we had a bull flag. So price could pull back to retest this area where you have to break in the bull flag, or it could reject off this 20-day EMA. So depending on what's printed in the next few candlesticks, you can either take this as a potential trade setup, or this one. On the 2-hour, it looks like this zone was played already by this wick here. So there's a chance that this may be the one. And that gives us a 1 to 8 risk reward ratio on this trade. All right, so we'll come back New York to see what is happening with Euro Pound, Gold, the indices, AUD USD, Euro USD, Pound USD, and what else did we take a look at? I think at Pound JPY. Yes. 2 hour, we didn't get a close below the neckline quite yet. So we have 36 more minutes in the hour candle. After this hour candle closes, as long as it's below the neckline, then this move or this pattern will be confirmed as a head and shoulders. Okay, so let's wait and see what happens at the close of this candle. And for the rest of the day, like I said, we have no major news coming out until looks like the Aussie session, and that's with pound. So we'll see how that affects pound. Let's see what happens with the pullback on the indices. Oh, we also looked at US 30. And we said if price could break and stay below this structural level, that there was a chance it could retest the lows, but that did not happen. Instead, it broke back above this microstructural level, and it looks like it just created a higher high. No, it retested this high, but it looks like it is about to create a higher high. If that's the case, this could be our potential entry on a buy setup on the indices, on the Russell, the US 30. Boom. We got structure here. We got a high here. That could be TP1. This area could be a TP2, and that structure could be a TP3 if price continues to create that bull flag on a smaller time frame. All TPs will hit on that sell, so we can get rid of that, get it out of the way. So as of right now, let's see how far back US 30 pulls back. Well, okay. What's going on with AUD? AUDJPY. Wow, we entered a buy down here. We were planning to trade to the 618. Price broke above to create a higher high. Now it is pulling back. Now, even though this was a heavy pullback, we still have yet to break the lows here. Price came down and gave you a retest of these lows, then immediately pulled back. So depending on what happens today, there's a chance we could see a pullback to this move and If price fails to break above this area, this could be a potential sell area. But if not, we could see the highs retested, if not broken. Because when we look at the macro moves on AUD JPY, price could break the lows here, retest this structural level, and still technically be in a uptrend. From here, pull back to break the highs and make this move. So that's why it's good to look at all time frames. You may think it's buying, and it very well may be a buy, but only on a higher time frame. But instead of you using multiple time frame analysis, you go off of what you see at the moment without a full perspective. You get stopped out of your trade. As soon as you get stopped out of your trade, price rejects and then goes in the way that you thought it would go. So keep in mind structure, basic structure. You got an uptrend, you're making higher highs, higher lows. No matter what happens here, as long as price does not violate the lows here, you are still in an uptrend. So from here, what we'll do is we'll set an alert for AUDJPY to retest this level. And it's nap time. Oh man, I'm so glad I started this trading thing. I started as a barber. I was a dope barber too now. I'm nice with clippers. But I spent 10 to 12 hours a day working. My kids grew up so fast. So it's like I'm at work trying to provide, and you get home and everybody's growing up without you. Certain things you can't participate in due to your schedule. So I fought hard, tried a bunch of different businesses to try to find something where I could pretty much get paid without putting as much work in, but still get the same amount. I found trading. I studied for 5 years. It started off rough for me because I had a get it done now mentality, and I was extremely impatient. I wanted to be rich right away. So I did not leverage correctly. I did not use a consistent approach with my risk. And no matter how well I was with technical analysis, I lost money with winning trades. Like I may find a nice buy, get into it, and stare at the chart. It moved down a little bit. I take the loss, and I over leverage it, so I lost way more than I should. Then just take off, go to the upside. So that's why I use or utilize the tools that I have as far as the alerts to take the emotional aspect away from trading. You can't get tricked by yourself if you're not looking at the charts. You didn't learn to trade to stare at the charts. You learned to trade to take advantage of your time, to get better time management, and have more time with your family. So you can go from working that 10 to 12 hour shift a day to working an hour and a half on Sunday, an hour Monday morning, and an hour an hour early Monday morning from 3:30 to 4:30, and an hour from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. So you go from working 12 hours to 2 and making more money than you were before. Yeah, so it's a beautiful skill set as long as you take your time to develop everything, the skill set as far as your technical analysis, the application of how to apply fundamental analysis to your your technical trade setups, and the ability to have a consistent risk reward approach to your trading. That's a complete trading strategy. If you're doing one and not the other two, then you're losing money. I can guarantee it. So, before we go, you guys, there's a link to join the Discord where you can take advantage of our free trade setups. I post them underneath Forex ideas. You get exact entries, exits. They just show me I need to go back in here and add the percentages and the pips from the recent trade setups. I did them live and I didn't want to waste too much time. But yeah, I sent out all of the trades here. All of the Forex trades come here. All of the trades for the indices, gold, they fall underneath trade ideas, crypto trade ideas, of course. This is where I sent that Bitcoin sale. So this was Bitcoin pulling back the retest structure. After that, all of the TPs were hit on Bitcoin. And we also send out trades for options underneath potential setups. Okay. So you can click the link to join the Discord, take advantage of the last free month of our Discord. Last month I did a $300 challenge and I posted it on social media. I was challenging everybody to start a Forex account with $300 just to see what we could turn it into by the end of the month. Our results for that month $273.04%, 6,643 pips. One loss, 4 break even, and 14 TPs hit. 1 TP hit in profit. Those were our results from that $300 challenge. This month we're doing another challenge. Same concept. Go to my IG page from YouTube, register to join the challenge. All the links that you need to participate are within that link tree link that you see at the top of the page. You'll register. If you already trade and you already have an account set up, the only apps you'll need to download is pretty much the FX calculator. If you don't know how to calculate your risk as far as your the amount of pips you're supposed to leverage per trade, there's an app that you can use there. There's also a YouTube video, Trading with TK, or How to Trade with TK, that'll pretty much navigate through the Discord for you and show you how to enter in trades if you do not know how. So you can take advantage of this free value while you can, okay? So thank you guys for your time. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We will be doing this on a consistent basis. Going live again during the New York session for an hour from 9:30 to 10:30. Happy trading. You're one click away from living. Why fight to stay the same? All right, be safe.